Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please.
Give him your attention.
We have, this week, 3 amazing filler episodes. Let's do this. Avatar is awesome. Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Oh, thank you very much for that music clip. That comes to us courtesy of on Twitter at definitelyrealband.com.
Thank you very much for that. It means a lot to us.
Yes. User interaction is key to a successful podcast, I feel like.
Yes, some.
Not too much.
Of our audience members do not like to email us or interact with us.
Or like all.
Yeah, hoity-toity jerks.
We're going to move on. As was mentioned in that lovely audio quip, we got filler episodes this week.
We decided just to go ahead and do 3 of them because the first one's a filler episode. The first one's a very dumb filler episode.
It's so dumb.
The second one I used to like. I'm beginning to hate it. And the third one is just very, very hilarious.
Yeah, okay, so we got the Painted Lady to start us off with. Harley, how many characters do you not hate in this episode?
Appa, it's a 1.
Yeah, Appa's good. I thought I was gonna like Aang.
I don't.
And then it turned out I didn't.
Yeah, there's one point in the episode where if it was just simply from his perspective of chasing down the Painted Lady, he would be attacking a spirit.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. I guess he wasn't necessarily attacking, but he was just trying to interact with.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. Like when he airbends her, like you wouldn't want that to happen to you.
Yeah, no.
Like
if I were a spirit,
if you were posing as a spirit, or if you were a spirit,
I say this all the time. If I was a spirit, I wouldn't want to be attacked. You know, that's just number 1 rule of being a spirit. I think.
That reminds me of a great song my grandpa wrote. It's actually named "If I Was a Spirit." Do we have this?
If I was a spirit, I'd tell you what I'll do.
If I was a spirit, then this is what I'd do.
If I were a spirit, I'd tell you what I'd do.
But if I were a spirit, then this is what I'd do.
And if I was a spirit, this is what I'd do. If I was a spirit, I wouldn't tell you.
Thank you, Grandpa. Rest in peace.
While we're talking about that, that actually reminds me of a song my grandpa wrote entitled If I Were a Spirit. If I were a spirit, I swear to it, I were a spirit. Thank you, Grandpa. He who has a soul as black as night.
Oh, yes. Our grandpas who have incredibly different taste in music.
Lifelong friends, though.
Indeed. Anyways, back to Avatar.
Of course.
Of course. That's what we're here for is Avatar. The Painted Lady. Does that sound weird to you?
We've already started talking about the episode.
We have, but I was thinking, isn't Painted Lady what they call hookers? Painted ladies?
Yeah, probably.
So in this sense, the writers just got so sick of Katara, they're just derogatory, dragging her name through the mud?
I think this show's a little bit more innocent than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
I guess Korra is less innocent. Korra kills people.
We're not here to talk about Korra. So this is just a filler episode in which they travel to a town that is experiencing a bunch of pollution.
Yeah, pollution because a few years before before the team shows up, before Team Avatar shows up, the Fire Nation installed a facility of sorts, like a steel factory, and it's in the river, and it's polluting the river. So fishing. Okay, so yeah, they're like fishing and stuff is just out of the question. As when we first see our heroes, they are trying to catch fish, and Sokka is not having luck with it. Aang is swimming in that water though. That's gotta be so thick. Like when they pull it out at the end,
they just water bend it off of him though.
Yeah, it's so gross though.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like you'd have to bathe after that. Not in the same pond, obviously, because a river.
Yeah, but they go into the town and they meet the townsfolk.
Doc
and Shu,
who is voiced by Paul Eiding, who I recognized from the Fallout games. He's a big voice actor in Bethesda.
Okay.
He's probably done some Skyrim work too.
I guarantee you he was in Skyrim.
But as I looked up, his very first credit was The Jetsons from 1962.
Wow.
So
was he Elbert? Is that the kid's name?
He's been around for a while.
Okay, but was he Elbert?
I honestly cannot tell you.
Does it not show it on IMDb?
It just says the Jetsons, and I don't want to look at IMDb. Why is the B short? Why is the B even in there? Database is one word, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why it's short. That's why it's not capital.
What did I say his name was? Paul Iron?
Yeah, I don't care anymore. So our heroes show up to this town that has been affected by this pollution, and it's a very poor town that doesn't really have much going on for it.
No, literally the only thing they ever do is fish, and they can't do that anymore. So it's what makes them prosperous, I guess. I don't know if they trade or whatever. They just keep it in, isolated. But people are getting sick, and they can't cure they're sick. The people can't eat because the fish is disgusting, and the water's polluted, and that's their three main problems.
I think if I remember correctly, the factory has imposed a tax of some sort.
Did it?
I think so. I don't know. It seems like it would. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
I mean, they're not all around douchebags. They're just say we're going to put our factory here.
I think they are. They're kind of all around douchebags.
That's what they're going for in this episode is that the Fire Nation Army are douchebags. But I can't talk about that because that's later on in the season.
I told you. I told you.
Now, what he's talking about now,
we
kids,
have an offender.
I went ahead and watched like 9 more episodes past this episode
without my knowledge. He went behind my back. And basically watch the rest of the season.
I went over his head and challenged his authority. The rest of the season is pretty good. Just
and
you guys know.
I hate it, and I will never forgive you.
It's fine. We're actually not friends now. He unfriended me off Facebook.
I just have to do this podcast. We have to finish it.
We need to finish it pretty soon, actually, because you got to leave here in a little bit. Because I only allow my friends to stay here for 3 hours at a time.
Please don't date the podcast.
Please don't date the podcast. Okay, it is not June 20th, 2017.
I hate you. Okay, let's get back to the episode. You gonna go?
The painted lady. Yeah, so they go into town. It's disgusting. There's pollution. There's an army facility.
And we see that the people are they've fallen on hard times. And so Katara gets it in her head that she is the only one who can help them.
Yes, there is in their lore, which has not been explained yet, but it's titular, meaning in the title. The Painted Lady, which apparently at one point in time looked over this little village.
It's a spirit.
It's a spirit, yeah. And apparently she looked over this village at one point in time and kept them safe until the Fire Nation army moved in, and then she just kind of abandoned it. And that sucks for them, but then 3 years later... So it's been there for 3 years. They've been struggling for 3 years.
I mean, the war has been going for like 100. So.
Yeah, but that specific military base.
Yeah.
Or military facility. So 3 years. And the team shows up. Katara feels bad for him. At one point in time, they actually buy fish. They go to walk away, and a little boy tugs on Katara's skirt and says, "Hey, I need fish."
And like an idiot, she gives him a fish.
Yeah, like
they have 6 people to feed.
Yeah.
And Appa eats more than a regular person.
That's also true.
This is ridiculous, and I'm done with it. Katara?
I hate Katara. It's fine. Let it out. Let it all out.
I can't. I can't stay mad at Katara, even though I am pretty mad right now. But I did not like her in this episode. She doesn't realize that they have a plan to defeat the Fire Lord, which would, in effect, help these people, right? Because he's a tyrant, basically, ruling over this land. And so if he was defeated, then maybe the Fire Nation military wouldn't have reason to occupy this place, and then they could go clean it up. But instead, she wastes time, throws Sokka's schedule off completely.
I hate that about this episode.
You can't yet, because we haven't gotten to the next one. And I'm going to hold you to that.
That's fine.
Yeah, but Sokka's got a schedule that's planned out everything they need to do before the day of Black Sun.
Which is the eclipse.
Yes.
The plan. It's the day they plan the invasion for the Fire Nation Palace, I think.
Yes, that's where they're going to go. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't. Spoilers.
Perhaps.
But yeah, Katara just, she takes it upon herself that she has to help them.
Yeah, they're on such a tight schedule, and Katara wastes 3 days, I think it is. Three extra days, because the one day...
so the first night she goes into the town...
Well, we don't know this.
It doesn't.
But we hear... They come back into town on the second night because Appa's sick.
Yes.
He's got his big purple tongue. And Katara says, "Oh, we should go get herbs in town for Appa then." And then when they go back in there, everyone's all happy-go-lucky. And it's a much different atmosphere than it was when they first showed up. And Sokka's like, "Hey, why are they all happy now?" and somebody goes, "Oh, the painted lady showed up last night," and Katara's like, "The painted who now?" And she plays it off really well because little do we know.
Well, no, because we find out later at this point she did not know about the painted lady. She was just doing it on her own volition.
Oh yeah, she was just helping him out, and then
so she's not that good of an actor.
No, she's not. I guess
She's
fair.
not. She's just naive. She's just
Dumb,
ignorant.
dumb,
Yeah,
dumb,
I hate you, Katara.
dumb.
But yeah, so she had gone in previous and helped the town.
Do something. I can't remember what it is.
I don't know. Yeah, what did she do?
I can't remember. But the
So they're all in
healed their
good
sick,
spirits
perhaps?
now. No, because that's the next.
that's
night.
the next one. But whatever. They did something. Brought them medicine. I don't know what she did. Food.
No,
it was food.
Was it food? Where did she get food?
From the Fire Nation army thingy.
Oh, she went and stole it.
Probably.
Okay.
Well, we don't see that.
No.
We just see that the next day, Appa's still sick. You know, there's no fish to feed Appa, or nothing to feed Appa. So he's still sick. And next night, Katara goes out to do this again, and she's all dressed up as the Painted Lady. And Aang sees her. Or no, that's the not second night.
The second night she goes out and goes into town and heals them with her healing magic.
Which is pretty cool, I guess. You see her go into like a medic tent, and you see it glow every time she tries somebody new. And
They sort of play it off that you don't know who it is yet, even though I think it's pretty obvious.
Well,
at the end of the second night, they actually reveal her face.
Yes.
And you're supposed to be like, oh, that's Katara.
because the little kid goes, "Thank you, Painted Lady," and she looks up, and the camera sees her face, and we're like, "Oh no, Katara!" And the third night comes along, and the third day, I should say. They go into town, and they realize that the sick have been healed, and they're like, "Oh, the Painted Lady come to visit again." The third night, Katara goes back into town as the Painted Lady, but Aang follows her, and Aang realizes it's Katara.
Yep.
He attacks her, which is what we were referring to at the beginning of the episode, and then just to see it's Katara, he freaks out. They go destroy the academy, the facility thing, which Sokka jokingly suggested earlier in the day. So they destroy it. They come back to the little campgrounds. Sokka realizes that she's the Painted Lady. He freaks out on her, and then Aang doesn't defend her, but Katara defends herself, and she says, and I quote,
I don't want quotes.
"No, I will never ever turn my back on people who need me. I'm going down to that village, and I'm going to do whatever I can."
Yeah, so she gets all dressed up as the Painted Lady again, and now they've got everybody in on it. Because Sokka's like, okay, you need me, and I'm not going to ever leave you.
And this is the point in time where the people from the Fire Nation army are probably coming back to their first shift, realize that the facility has been destroyed, the factory, I should say. The factory has been destroyed, and then so they blame the village because it's the closest thing nearby, and they probably know that they're hurting the village, ecosystem.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, they're trying to get back at us. So they immediately blame them. They come in on little speedboats, and they attack the villagers.
They're like wave runners, though.
Yeah,
They're jet skis.
They're thugs. They're just douchebag thugs on little jet skis. But then they show up and attack them, and then you see Katara come back as a Painted Lady, and Aang helps her out. He uses some of his magical airbending, and they have Appa in the background in a cave roaring, and Toph dropping giant boulders, and Sokka playing the flute to make the ambience.
And no one can hear the flute.
No,
because it's so far away.
It's to create the ambiance, but. Then she comes in here and she kicks all their butts.
It's very well choreographed, like show. Like
Yeah.
they took time to really plan it out.
And so she kicks their butts. And they all leave, and then the paint gets smudged on her face. And Doc or Shu, whichever one it is, realizes that hey, that's not the Painted Lady. You're the girl who I saw before in the marketplace. And so they start getting mad at her. And then Sokka starts defending his sister and saying that, hey, you should be on your knees respecting her right now and worshiping her because she just saved your lives.
Yep.
And Sokka, and she goes, "No, wait, that's fine, it's whatever." And then it's a big story about
And then
just
they
because
clean
you
up the river.
Yeah, just because you pretended what you can't, you something about what you are and aren't and stuff and words and things and whatever. The river's clean, it's fine. Next episode, let's go.
They clean up the river. Next episode, Sokka's master. Sokka gets a sword. Next episode. Just another, again, filler episode.
This episode has more substantial girth. That's the word I'm looking for.
I don't think so, but
Substance.
I don't think it does either.
Well, as opposed to the last episode, because Sokka gets a sword, and it's just Sokka being down on his luck and gloomy and whatnot, because everybody else are magic sorcerers.
It starts off, Sokka's feeling kind of bad because everybody else can bend, and he, has a boomerang that I don't even know if he has anymore?
He usually has it.
Does he? Okay, but yeah, he's feeling kind of bad because he wants to have something special for the group.
So they established that Sokka needs a master because they've all had masters. Even Toph had the Badger Moles. So they find Piao-Doob.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Pian Dao.
That makes sense.
Is his name. And I forget who he's voiced by, but it doesn't matter. And he's an expert swordsman. Swordsman.
Yeah, they go to like this, it's like an armory or like someplace where they sell weapons and like stuff like that. So Sokka can find his new weapon of choice, I guess. And he comes across one of these swords that was made by Pian Dao. And he's like, I'm going to go talk to him.
Yeah, he's supposedly the greatest swordsman in the Fire Nation.
It's kind of like, it reminds me of Kill Bill.
Yeah. But it's not Kill Bill.
No, it's Avatar.
It's Kill Avatar. But we actually get a cool scene in this in the shop where Katara looks over and Aang's in a fully decked out armor.
And like this anime, the most anime armor.
He's got a big metal gauntlet. He's in big metal armor. He's got big samurai like helmet going on. And the reason why they did that was because they were being pushed to make they're being pushed to put Avatar in some kind of armor so they could sell merchandise for it.
Yeah, for like action figures and stuff like that.
And this was their response to the studio. They're like, "Here you go. This is what we got for you." And it was humor and it was ironic, and I like it.
I wonder if they actually made action figures.
I think so.
You think so?
I think I remember
kind of the armor. You think?
Not of the armor, maybe not of the, probably of the armor, but like just like Happy Meal toys, kind of like fast food toys. I think I remember Burger King, something like that, selling something.
Yeah, but I want to find one because you think they would have maybe made the armor or something.
They probably would have just to capitalize on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it was just ironic, they would still have sold it.
Oh yeah. But Sokka finds the sword and he's going to go talk to the master, who they tell him where he's at, and he goes up to the master's abode, Pian Dao's house.
It's a very big place.
It's large.
It's on the hill, and it's basically a castle.
He's got like a giant wall around it.
It's really nice, actually. I wish I had it. But he learns how to become a swordsman in this. And it's basically just a bunch of philosophical stuff like, hey, you leave your mark on this paper, just like a sword leaves its mark on the battle, or paint this painting. In battle, you only get a quick glimpse of what goes on before you can react.
The sword needs to be an extension of your arm, basically,
it's
rather
very,
than
it's very
philosophical.
Entity. And I like that a lot. But
and we get to see sort of how like Sokka handles it, because he doesn't take the most direct route that you think of.
No,
but he completes the challenge in the only way that Sokka can.
Yeah, the dumb way.
Yeah, it's usually not exactly what you would want, but it always sort of lets Sokka come out on top.
But it ends up being where Pian Dao says after he makes his sword out of the meteorite that they saved the village from being burnt by at the very beginning of the episode, he makes his sword out of that.
Because Pian Dao says that Sokka's been training with a wooden sword up until now, and he says that it's time for you to have your own sword. And Sokka just wants one that Pian Dao has made. But he says, no, it has to be an extension of you, so you have to make it, which I think's dumb.
I think it's cool, though, because you've done everything yourself individually. Like, he painted his face on there like his name. He painted the waterfall. He set up the thing in the Zen garden, and now he gets to make his own sword. Like, it was all, like, the way he did it. I think it was because at the very beginning he was feeling down on himself for not being able to do anything himself. I think that really boosted his ego.
Yeah, but Sokka's not a swords crafter.
He's not, but he's had some weapons smithing
I don't think so.
in his life. He's had some experience of sorts.
Yeah, but anyhow, Sokka prepares his sword and out of the meteorite that they found earlier. And Pian Dao says that it's going to be a very unique sword, because I don't think anybody's ever made anything out of a meteorite before.
Who would ever think of that?
I wouldn't have.
It's really cool that that's convenient that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so they make the sword, and then Pian Dao hands Sokka the sword as like, hey, you've completed your apprenticeship.
You're worthy to hold this sword now.
And Sokka says, no, I don't think I am worthy, and goes to hand it back to him. And he completely says that I've lied to you. I'm actually Sokka from the Water Tribe. And at this point in time, Aang, Katara, and Toph are there, and they start freaking out. Like, why would you tell him that? And then
with good reason too.
Yeah, Pian Dao says that's fine, and pulls out a sword and attacks Sokka. And then they do this stupid little thing that I've always hated in movies, where the gang tries to jump in and help Sokka, and then Sokka puts his hand out and says, no, this is my fight. I've got to do this myself.
Yeah, just use your friends.
And they fight in the courtyard, and Sokka doesn't win. Pian Dao beats the crap out of him, which is not wrong. I'm not lying to you guys. But and then Pian Dao says, hey, you know what? You've there are 3 different elements. He used his agility, he used his surroundings, and he threw dirt in his eye.
Yeah.
And I
Which was a dirty move.
It was a dirty move.
Literally.
Literally. And then they end up going about their way. And then Piandao realizes or notices that Aang is the Avatar. He asks why.
He said he knew it all along. Also.
Yeah, he says, "How did you know that?" And he goes, "I've been around for a while." And they leave. And the butler leaves at the gate, and he says, "Piandao wanted you to have this," and he gives him a little satchel, along with the Earth metal stuff that Sokka has, the meteorite stuff, and it has a Pai Sho chip, and it's
Coin?
the lotus,
the White Lotus,
and
if we see that the White Lotus symbol is emblazoned on the doors,
on the big gates of the dude's mansion house.
Yeah, so he is part of the White Lotus, and I guess he's trying to induct Sokka into the White Lotus now.
Maybe, but that's pretty cool though that we get some more White Lotus characters.
I wonder if they ever explain that in like Korra or anything. Is he in the White Lotus?
I don't know. I don't think Korra really goes into depth like
on Sokka
with that.
I don't remember.
We don't get a lot of Sokka in Korra actually at all. I don't think we get any Sokka.
Well, no, because he's dead. Okay, so moving on to the next episode. What was this one again? I completely forgot already.
The beach.
Yes, the beach. Not my favorite.
Oh wait, no, hold on. The last episode we got some General Iroh. General Iroh is ripped now.
Yeah,
General Iroh is ripped.
Yeah, he's been working out in his cage
in his spare time,
which is all the
time. So that's why he's jacked. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That was the last big reveal. Was him dropping
moving
his robe.
on. So the next is the beach, and this is a Zuko and crew.
Zuko, Azula, Ty Lee, and May.
This is centric on them, which is pretty cool because I don't know if we've really have we had like an Azula focused story yet.
No, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine. But we get to see them go back to a place from their childhood,
which is Ember Island.
We just did what the twins do.
That was really weird.
Yeah, it was.
Was they Lo and Lee or something like that?
Yeah, Lo and Lee. But they show back up with Lo and Lee, the old people who train Azula, and they're going back to the Ember Island beach where they used to go when they were young. Azula and Zuko.
It's pretty funny. What you pointed out during this episode was that they're aggressive all the time in every single point in the show, but they're also in the middle of war.
Yeah,
and they're fighting. But on the beach, everybody's just relaxing and hanging out because they're in the Fire Nation, and they're just chilled out people. But they start acting.
Zuko and Azula are still just completely amped up.
They still have that mentality of, hey, we need to fight everybody.
Yeah, it's just they're so dramatic in scenes that doesn't call for any drama whatsoever.
Like the volleyball scene.
Yeah. Where they're doing it like a full-on... Azula's got everything like planned out, and they're
going to destroy the opposition.
Yeah, and they end up burning the net of the volleyball match.
She's very dramatic.
Yeah.
But then it goes to... Ty Lee is being flaunted by these dudes this entire episode. Or flocked. I didn't mean to say flaunted.
Okay, yeah.
I did not mean to say flaunted. Flocked was the word I was looking for. By dudes this entire time because she's cute, whatever. Azula, it gets jealous eventually. At the party or something, there's a party and Zuko's there and May's there and there's people that are douchebags and stuff and words and they fight people and Azula thinks it's cool to be a girlfriend or something. I don't know.
Something happens. But
it's very funny. It's a pretty funny episode though.
It's super like high school drama if you were gonna like kill everybody. That's what
at one point in time they ask us or they tell Azula that they're gonna have a party. Or they tell May and Ty Lee they're going to have a party, and Zuko and Azula are standing there, and they're like, aren't you going to invite us? And she's like, don't you know who we are? And the two guys are like, don't you know who we are? We're whatever their names are.
It's like, that's the prince and princess of the Fire Nation. I feel like they would know.
I can't remember their names. It's like Jinjo or Jai or something.
I don't care.
They're not some weird Asian names. But
they end up dying anyway, so it's
they kill them. And they're like, they're going to be the coolest teenagers on the beach there, and coolest teenagers in the Fire Nation at this party. And it's like, yeah, including the prince and princess.
Yeah, of course.
That you should be bowing down to. It's fine.
But we get some more Zuko and May interaction at the party. And they're having some rocky trouble. They're
romantic turmoil.
Trouble in their relationship. And we get to see because Zuko is always angry and May never feels anything. So they're sort of clashing in that regard.
I think this episode is mainly just for Zuko, though.
It's like character development.
Yeah, because like I was saying when we watched the episode, at the end where they're all around the campfire, And they're all talking about their feelings and whatnot in their background. We get a stupid background from Ty Lee. I love Ty Lee as a character, but her background's dumb.
Yeah.
Being just exactly like all her 6 of her sisters with the same name and whatnot, and she couldn't have any individuality or any identity for that whatever. So that's why she joined the circus. May was a spoiled little brat, little rich kid, and she got everything she wanted as long as she didn't disobey anybody.
Act out or do anything other than sit there and be quiet.
Azula is just the C word, and she's awful.
Okay.
She's a maniac. And
but then we do get a little bit, like, she sort of feels hurt because her mother thought she was a monster.
But she says she was right, of course. But
Yes,
still hurt.
but I mean, it still gives us a little bit of character for Azula.
But it shows, I think it was just there for Zuko to expand, because Zuko had a lot of dialogue in that scene. And it was Zuko to expand on his inner turmoil right now about, like, he thinks he betrayed Uncle. Like, he's coming to realize that, he's at war, what's good and evil in his own mind. He's starting to realize now that the Fire Nation isn't great and what it's supposed to be.
He thought that everything would go back to being normal after he
was wrong.
Regained his honor, but now he just feels like empty inside instead of having his honor back, really.
Yeah, they just had that conversation to make that, they just involve those other 3 backstories to have that conversation feel normal. But Zuko is going through some serious stuff. He goes back to the other house on Ember Island, which is where they used to live.
A giant beach house.
It's huge. And he sees a picture of him and his father and his mother and Azula. And his father has his hand on his shoulder, and he's like, "This is what could have been, but this isn't what it is." And so he burns the
pointed
picture.
out in some of the flashbacks that we get from Zuko, instead of having his father there, we see him with Iroh.
Yeah, as a little baby, I shows Iroh on the beach holding up baby Zuko and playing with Iroh's kid. Is that his name? I don't know. Iroh's child is building a sandcastle right next to him, and that's sad.
Oh yeah,
that his father was never in the picture. Uncle Iroh has always been a father figure to him, and he's just now 16, and he's just now realizing that it's taken this long. Uncle Iroh's been very patient with Zuko, extremely patient, and it's taken him this long to realize how much of an actual father figure that Iroh's been to him.
But in this episode, we don't just get stupid beach scenes with Zuko and crew. We also get a little bit of Combustion Man.
Oh, yes. Or Sparky Boom Man.
Have they called him that yet?
I'm pretty sure or it might be the next episode.
Maybe.
Man.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either. What are you talking about? I didn't go ahead and watch other episodes.
But yeah, this guy shows up. It's the guy that Zuko hired earlier to track down the Avatar. And he does his job. He finds the Avatar and everybody.
While they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, there was one point in time where they're in a like a spa area, like an outdoor spa. And they're talking about, Toph's like, "Hey, you need to cover up your arrows because everybody's going to see you're the Avatar." And he's like, "No, I'll be fine." Then he goes down to a tunnel slide. And he comes at the other end. There's Fire Nation guards at the other end, and they see him. So they send up a Warhawk or a messenger hawk, and then the vulture that Combustion Man has attacks that Warhawk and steals the message. And Combustion Man destroys the message, finds the Avatar, and attacks them.
I'm pretty sure he's going to have to go kill those 2 guys that saw.
Oh, he does. He murders them for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, what are they going to do if they don't hear back from the Fire Nation? Just like, okay, we'll just let it go.
Do you think they would send a return message, or do you think they just ignore them because they're underlings?
They would definitely send a return message, right?
Would they? I've never been in that era of war.
I would feel like,
or any war.
I mean, that would be pretty big news. It would probably be like, "Here's what to do now that we know the Avatar's still alive. You're the closest to him." Something like that.
Kill him.
They can't. I wouldn't imagine they would just leave it alone and not say anything to them.
They're like, "Well, our job's done. Let's go home."
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, we get some pretty cool action with. We get to see basically the first time that the Combustion Man shoots his whatever it is.
He's got like an eye. It looks like an eye on his in the middle of his forehead, and it shoots out some kind of
like a bomb, basically.
Kind of.
But first we get to see Aang deflect it with air, and then he shoots another one, and we get to see Toph with Earth, and then Katara does, and it basically just negates all their different types of bending, but he's much quicker at it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He holds his own against all 4 of them. Sokka doesn't do anything, actually.
He has a sword.
But what's he going to do with it?
I don't know.
He just has a sword now. He's still as useless as ever.
But Aang at one point says, "Okay, get on Appa and leave. I'm going to lead him away." And so Combustion Man chases after him because it's obvious that's who he's after.
Yes, obviously. I was going to say something about the skin color of Aang in that section. Like, it's very dark out, and he just looks very white. And it just makes me think about white people in general.
I've been thinking a lot about white people, too.
Yeah, I think there's a song about that.
sounds that people make. You can tell the color of the skin. Archie's a white band, so is Arcade Fire. Arctic Monkeys is from the UK. I guess that means they're white. Bastille, the black is so white. Boss Hog is from the south, I guess. Probably white. Foster the people, cage the elephant. John James Blunt, Jack Johnson, they all sound the same. Mumford and Sons, they're from like Ireland or something, probably white. Monsters and Men, Imagine Dragons, Dinosaur Jr., Florence and the Machine, the Dave Matthews Band, Ed Sheeran is the whitest of them all. Ed Sheeran is the whitest of them all. Wild people music, wild people music, the whitest of them all. Wild people music, wild people music, the whitest of them all. Yeah, and with that, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I've been Caleb Bader,
And I've been Harley Davis.
and we'll see you here next week. Bye. Welcome back to a special bonus episode of The Boys in the Iceberg.
Is it that special?
Yeah, it's a bonus episode of The Boys in the Iceberg. As always, I'm Caleb Bader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
And we got a special treat for you guys today. A super special, just very special.
In the depths of the fan-made wiki, we have
In the annals.
we have discovered a rare treasure, which we would like to share with you guys today, if you'd let us.
This is the unaired pilot for Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And we are going to, just for you guys, act out the transcript today.
It looks like a hot pile of garbage, Harley.
It just might be worse than that.
Okay, so a couple of things before we get started. This is the unaired pilot, so this is ostensibly what they pitched the show on and what the show was picked up by.
And this probably lasted only a couple minutes. It's just something you show to like your board of directors, basically.
Do you think this is a couple minutes long? I don't know. The script looks a little bit. It's probably
it's probably
15 minutes.
It's probably less. Yeah, around 10 or something like minutes.
Yeah,
like
probably
it's not,
10.
It's not a full episode length, but it's something you show to your board of directors for the company. Basically, like, hey, this is what we need to. This is what we want to show you. It's basically a pitch, like you said. And they after the pilot, they pretty much decide whether or not they want to go with it.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of things. Katara's name in this is actually Kaya.
It's a terrible name, but they do recycle that for later on in Korra for her daughter's name, and they recycle it for
It's
her mother's name.
Yeah, it's
as well.
Katara's mother's name. So there doesn't look to be a whole lot of people in this. We still got Zuko, we get Sokka and Aang also as well, and then Kaya.
They fully animated this though. I'm looking at stills here, and they fully animated these things.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch it at some point.
Yeah, I think I could have lied to you guys, but I think it's available on iTunes. That's the Avatar state right there, Caleb.
So this isn't like I know in the early stage Aang was gonna be like a techno, something like that, and Momo was a little robot.
Oh, that's weird. That sounds
So
weird.
I guess they've already moved away at this point, and it's basically the characters we know and love.
Zuko looks really weird. Early designs of Zuko and Fire Nation soldiers, they're the basic Fire Nation soldiers type. They're very Chinese looking though, and one of them looks like he has like a Viking samurai helmet on thing.
Huh.
But it's
still it's very close to what we have already seen.
But they obviously evolved that a little bit more than what it is sitting here. If you guys want to go check this out, it's on the wiki underneath Unaired Pilot, the Avatar Last Airbender wiki. It's a fan made site. It's a really nice app too for Android and that other thing,
iOS.
Yeah,
nice plug, Harley.
I got you.
We know that iPhone and Android devices really need it. Okay. Why don't we jump right in and we start with Kaya narrating?
Yeah, you go right ahead. I'm kidding. I'm so
I hate you. You should have pulled this up already.
I was looking at other things. I followed deeper into this.
Okay, and 3. No? Okay. I'll just keep talking for a little while. How you guys doing? It's very good to come back with this bonus episode. So Kaya opens up with narration. Still not there?
Oh, I'm there now. Can we read it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. In my best version of Katara.
Kaya.
Who's now Kaya. Was Kaya.
Water, earth, fire, air. My grandmother used to tell me stories about the old days, how the 4 nations once lived in harmony, how everything changed
Once the Fire Nation attacked.
Only the Avatar mastered all 4 elements. Only he could stop the ruthless firebenders. But when the world needed him most, he disappeared. Nobody had seen him for 100 years, until my brother and I found him, an airbender named Aang. The problem is that this Avatar is still a kid, and even though his airbending skills are great, he's a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. The Fire Nation will do anything to capture Aang before he masters all 4 elements. So I must keep
A lot of dialogue here. Almost
so long.
almost. Well, they have to get the entire backstory out.
Okay. So I must keep him safe until he is ready to fulfill his destiny. My brother thinks I'm crazy, but I believe Aang can save the world.
Dunka 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 dun 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 dun.
So
Dun 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 dun.
they obviously use a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the water, earth, fire, air is in the wrong order.
I think this is more just for exposition, so they don't have to explain everything.
Yeah,
in
this
the,
is
actual episode.
extremely long. How long did that took me to say? You think 45 seconds or something like that?
It was quite a long
It was
time.
almost a minute.
I mean, you broke character, but
Okay. This episode starts with a shot.
I'm
what?
going to read.
Oh, you're going to read that.
I'm going to read the stage directions.
We are not very well organized here, guys.
The episode starts with a shot of the sun. The camera pans down to Aang, Kaya, and Sokka on a flying bison being followed by a boat? I almost read boar. Woohoo! Hang on, Momo. Oh. You idiot. We're about to die. That's a weird. We're about to die.
Firebolt! Aang, focus!
Cut to close-up of Aang, who quickly maneuvers Appa out of the way of an oncoming fireball as the camera zooms out to show Appa. Cut to below Appa as a bolt of fire flies past them. Aang flies past the camera as Sokka holds the saddle to avoid falling off. Cut to another shot of Appa from the water as the boat enters view. There's so many cuts, this is ridiculous. Cut to the Fire Nation ship, a frontal view of Prince Zuko with 4 other soldiers.
I want the Avatar. Improve your firebending, or you're swimming home in your armor. Again!
Side view of them all. The camera pans, following the ball in front of Appa as the ball narrowly misses. Cut to a wide view of a fireball and Appa below the fire explodes above Appa. What? As the fireball explodes above Appa, much like a firework, into many smaller fireballs. Cut to a close-up of Aang looking on in awe. Whoa! Aang, do something!
Yep.
It's still Aang. Okay, doing it! Appa, yip yip! Cut to the frontal view of Sokka and Kaya screaming. Side view of Appa as he manages to dodge the fireballs. Cut behind Appa. Okay, this is so much direction. Where is the actual dialogue?
Well, it's all animated. Like they'll have animated it all.
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand how it works. I don't want to read all of it. Aang, you guys having fun yet? Not bad, huh? Let's do it again. There's just a whole bunch of action going on there.
Like I feel like if we just read the dialogue, people would be very confused.
Yeah, it would be. Fade to a wide shot of the island as the camera pans left. Cut to a side view of Sokka sharpening his boomerang. Cut to a side view of Kaya waterbending and Aang looking on a beach. Looking good, Kaya. It sounds so weird.
What a bad name.
It won't be long until the Fire Nation sends their whole fleet after your little boyfriend. Kaya, we don't have time for this. Kaya ignores Sokka and continues to waterbend. She attempts to land the water in a bag Aang is holding up, and the camera pans left to follow the water to Aang.
Smooth.
Keep it up. Sokka. Hey, quit playing around. Kaya turns to Sokka. Cut to a front view of Aang and Momo as the water drops on them. I said keep it up. Frontal view of Kaya. Sokka laughs. Frontal view of Aang, who uses airbending to dry himself off.
Okay, for the last time, waterbending is not playing. Braiding my doll's hair, now that's playing.
Close up on Sokka, blushing. I was 6.
And he's not my boyfriend.
Aang is visibly disappointed at this, and Momo flies off, seemingly angry. Cut to a side view of Kaya as Kaya attempts to waterbend again, but fails and becomes frustrated. Aang jumps to kneel next to her. Listen, Kaya, there's a secret to bending. Frontal view, standing. Energy comes from the earth, through your roots, and into your branches.
My roots?
Use your legs. Watch closely. Aang prepares a bubble of air between his hands. Frontal view of Aang as he sends out a blade of air as Sokka throws his boomerang. Sokka catches his boomerang and approaches Aang. What's your problem, air boy? Me? That was going to be our lunch. Oh, well, the Earth's bounty is rich, Sokka. There's got to be more food somewhere on this island. Sokka, poking Aang with the tip of his boomerang. So find it. I'm hungry.
No, Sokka, we can't let him wander around alone. What if he gets hurt? The whole world is counting on Aang.
This is such a bad thing. How did this show get picked up? I don't like it.
This is such a garbage pilot.
Right. So once again, I have to do everything. You better hope I find some food, or you'll find me eating Momo.
Sokka, be careful.
Cut. I don't want to read the stage direction. Fire Nation soldier shows up.
Hold it right there.
Camera pans down to Sokka, who turns to run. Cut to a view from Sokka as he flees, but the Fire Nation soldiers throw a rope around his legs, causing him to trip. Cut to Kaya, tying a rope to Appa's horn, and the camera pans right to reveal Aang relaxing on Appa's head. Quick, Kaya! Let's go swimming before Sokka gets back.
I'm impressed, Aang. You finished tying your end already. Aang, what have you been doing all this time?
Me? I was watching you. Trying to learn your technique.
This is your bison. You taught me.
Yep, it appears I taught you well, and thus the master passes the reins to the pupil. What do you hear, Momo?
Nope. You skipped ancient tradition.
Ancient tradition.
You're fired from
What
this.
do you hear, Momo? Both Aang and Kaya and Aang look in the direction of Momo's looks. Look. Okay, both Kaya and Aang look in the direction of Momo's looks. Momo jumps onto the horn that Kaya was tying the rope to, and the camera passes left to follow his movements. Kaya returns to Aang as she speaks.
Aang, my brother's been gone for a long time.
The camera zooms slightly to show Komodo rhinos approaching the base. Cut to the view of the Komodo rhinos. Sokka is tied to the back of one of the Komodo rhinos. Cut to the side view of the Fire Nation's base entrance as the Komodo rhinos enter. The drawbridge begins to close as the camera cuts to a frontal view of Kaya.
Sokka, no! If I'm not back by...
The camera follows Kaya as she slides down the rocks, but stops when she sees Aang coming too. Side view of Aang.
Oh, too dangerous.
She approaches and forces him to sit down.
You're way too important.
You're too important. Or you're important too. To me.
Look, Aang, there's a bigger picture here you're not seeing. Bigger than me, Sokka and
Isn't that from Spider-Man 2? There's more going on here than the two of us.
you're the Avatar. Start acting like it.
She leaves. Close up of Aang, who looks sad, but suddenly perks up as if he has had an idea. Cut to a view behind Kaya. Kaya, remember, it's all in the legs. You know the thing? I set it up earlier.
Thanks.
Kaya continues to the camp. Cut to the frontal view of Aang, who looks on before ducking down and reappearing closer. Fade to a wide view of the beach's entrance as the serpent's head is brought through the gates of the serpent's head. What?
I don't know. There's a serpent, there's a Zuko, and there's a boat.
Yeah, that's okay. So Zuko.
I got your message. Oh, messenger hawk. Pass it to the shoulder of Zuko. The camera pans up to the hawk as it squawks. Side view of Zuko. Bring the Avatar's playmate to me.
Cut to a frontal... What's the Avatar's playmate? Is that Sokka?
I don't know.
Cut to a frontal view of Aang using his airbending to create a ball of air around a rock, and Momo, who attempts to grab the rock, imitating Kaya. You're the Avatar. Start acting like it. If that's the case, I should... Wait. If that's the case, shouldn't I be using my skills to help? Exactly, Momo. I can't let anything happen to Kaya and Sokka. They're the only family I have, besides you. He moves the ball to the right and the camera pans right slightly. If I were about to be eaten by a pack of angry hog monkeys, you'd save me, right? Yeah, I thought so. Aang stops airbending, grabbing his staff. Cut to the frontal view of Momo as the rock drops onto his head. Momo attempts to attack the rock before stopping to fly off to follow Aang. Cut to a wide view of the Fire Nation base. The camera pans down to reveal Zuko staring out in the horizon. Cut to a panning shot of him from behind. Sokka to Zuko. Hey! Untie me and fight me like a real warrior. I'm talking to you, Scar boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just there already.
Close to Zuko, Scar becomes visibly annoyed.
The Scar becomes visibly annoyed?
Frontal view of Sokka as the two soldiers slide away, muttering, Yeah, tie me up with the ropes. Cut to a view of Zuko as he turns. Zuko lands, breathing fire from his nostrils, scaring Sokka. Sokka falls back, and Zuko stands.
Leave him alone.
Kaya!
Frontal view of Kaya approaching, tied up and flanked by two soldiers. Zuko, we caught her trying to climb over the wall. Is the Avatar with her? No sign of him, sir.
Frontal view from behind Kaya.
Search the island. He's probably hiding under a rock.
Aang suddenly flies in, and the shot pauses to show him smiling.
Ah!
Side view of Zuko as Aang flies up and around the compound. Zuko points to him.
Get him.
Go back, Aang.
And miss all the fun? Forget it. Aang flies around the area. Zoom in the aerial view. Aang surrounded by the Fire Nation soldiers. The camera pans up to show Zuko and another soldier watching on from afar. Yep, we're dead.
It's still here.
Yeah, I know. It's called a dramatic pause.
I was about to read it.
Okay, Sokka. Yep, we're dead. What's the matter, Zuko? Can't handle me alone?
You want your friends? Come and get them.
If you insist. Up there. Frontal view of Aang as Momo appears out of his clothing. Cut to a view from behind Aang looking down at the soldiers. After him. Ooh, get him, Momo.
Does Momo actually do anything?
I don't know what's going on right now.
I'm really confused.
Sir, the scaffolding.
Out of my way.
I'm not reading all that.
Zuko throws the guard down. Cut to behind Zuko as he makes his way toward the scaffolding and jumps on a rope. Cut to the close-up of his feet as he cuts the rope. Cut to a frontal view as he lifts it up. Cut to an aerial view as he sits the scaffolding. Cut to a frontal view of the scaffolding as Aang continues to climb higher and reaches the top. Cut to a side view as he looks down. Cut to the scaffolding beginning to shake.
No.
Cut to frontal view as Aang dodging. Cut to a side view of those
the
two.
The camera pans down and Kaya is free from her ropes and untying Sokka.
There's so much going on.
What does the kid think he's doing?
As long as he distracts those soldiers, I can get us out of here.
Run!
So, okay.
Come on, fight back!
Stupid short firebender ropes and stupid short Aang.
I don't know where we're at. I don't know.
That's Sokka. Kaya begins to enter the waterbending stands. Catching an aerial view of the container as... No, it's still
I don't know as you were talking!
Cut to the front view of Kaya. What are you doing? This isn't time to practice. I can't believe this. You never listen to me. Kaya concentrates and ignores her brother. You're just off in your own little waterbending world. Bending water and its world like... Then you water in its world like ways. You never listen.
The camera zooms in on Kaya to herself as
Thinking
Sokka continues
pensively.
talking. It's all in the legs.
Oh.
Her legs are position. She exhales.
Zuko
Water
comes
begins to
back.
rise. Front view of Kaya. Container.
And Zuko's here now.
Downward motion. Container, the water falls out. Container, the hole.
Harley, Zuko is like here now.
Kaya sees what she done. Good Kaya. Okay. Give up now and I'll make sure my father goes easy on you. You have nowhere left to go.
You sure about that?
Aang falls back. Shock Zuko. Avatar state.
it's not-
Air scooter. Opens his eyes.
Aang's
He's
expression
running
shifts as he
along.
turns and hears Sokka. Stay back! And
There goes
voiceover.
Sokka. Fire Nation soldier. Sokka sees Aang. Front view of Aang. Drops on Zuko. Moves away to Sokka. Opens Sokka.
Kaya, get ready.
Aang approaching on his glider. Sokka and Kai below. Sokka swings over and throws it to the Aang. Boomerang latches on the glider and Aang flies off. Kai holds on to Sokka as he holds onto the rope, which is attached to the boomerang. Cuts the close up of Aang.
The camera cuts to show they're escaping over the wall. Food basket in Sokka's hand and Momo wrapped around his head. Good work, Sokka. You found the food.
Kai and Aang.
Come on, Kaya.
Kaya moans
You're
in
flying with the
fear.
Avatar. Start acting like it. Ha!
Kai moans in fear again.
Woohoo!
Front view of Zuko. Guards help him up. Zuko gets angry. Zuko kills somebody. Messenger Hawk warily flies away. Kaya.
Zuko gets slapped in the face.
Narrating.
My brother and I are quickly learning that life with Aang is one adventure after another.
Side view up his head. Aang and Momo. But who knows?
One of those adventures might even save the world.
Aang falls off Appa. Side view of Aang as he falls. Ah! Screen fades to black. I meant to do that.
Roll credits.
Yep. There it is.
That was garbage.
It was very bad.
We are not by any means professional voice actors.
And we are not by any means releasing this episode.
Nope. That was terrible. How long was that? Like 10 minutes?
No, 20 minutes?
20 minutes. It took us 20 minutes to read all that.
Yeah, it did.
Man, I would hate to do a reading for Star Wars Episode 9.
No, because that would be good.
I mean, it would be good. Yeah, it'd be really... everybody have their own parts and stuff like that. We would be playing multiple parts. I mean, we had people to play the parts.
We should get people and play them.
That'd be so good.
Once again, thank you for joining us on this bonus episode. As always, I've been Caleb Bader.
And I'm Harley Davis.
We'll see you here in a couple days.
Bye.